Ever since I first heard about Nicaragua's Solentiname Islands, I knew I had to go. An archipelago chain of 36 tropical isles nestled into the southeast corner of Lake Nicaragua, Central America's largest body of fresh water. Only a handful are inhabited by people. None have cars or roads. It sounded like they were made for paddlers. In Managua, I joined up with Eliza, an old college friend, and Corey, a freelance filmmaker who I'd met only a month earlier while camping in the Utah desert. Both of them were equally intrigued by the prospect of paddling in Nicaragua. With 3 foldable kayaks and a pile of dry bags in tow, the adventure began right at the airport curb. We left the city, hopping from one mode of transportation to the next as the towns became smaller and the jungle grew thicker. We weren't sure our kayaks were going to fit into the tiny, rusty taxi, but our driver got creative. Eventually, we reached the literal end of the road, a tiny hamlet called Cologne with no hotels, electricity, or running water. By the time we set up our hammocks in the blaze of the tropical sunset, we were as exhausted as we were happy. The howler monkeys and crowing roosters didn't keep us awake for long. The next day, we headed towards the archipelago. Eliza used her fluent Spanish to make friends along the way. We soon learned that unusually low lake levels were going to prevent our boat from taking its usual route to the islands. We were worried we wouldn't make it until Corey suggested we paddle there. We were carrying our own kayaks after all. It didn't take long to realize why the boats were having trouble navigating the lake. It was surreal to see egrets standing in the water several miles from shore. When we needed a break from paddling, we simply stood up. After a 7-mile crossing, we arrived on Solentiname's largest island. Its village was built up in the 80s by Ernesto Cardenal, a spiritual leader for Nicaragua's Sandinista revolution. The town still has a strong communal emphasis. The hotel we stayed at is run by a number of families who share its labors and its profits. They cooked us delicious food and made us feel right at home. For the next few days, our agenda was wide open. We paddled our kayaks to deserted islands and explored the rainforest. Local artists invited us into their homes, where they allowed us to join them in their artwork. Our final day on the islands arrived too soon, but I left thinking this was the perfect kind of kayak adventure. I'd paddled far away from the beaten path, met new people, and explored exotic landscapes. Best of all, I'd shared the experience with good friends. It was a journey I'll never forget.